What's going on, guys? Making another rebuilding an association right now, or MyLEAGUE. I'm choosing the Boston Celtics. They're a pretty popular team to rebuild in 2K15, and they're also one of my favorite teams. I guess I'll put them top two, along with Portland. So right away, let me just say about them, they have a bunch of trade assets, whether it be picks or young players or just guys who you can dump very easily to get stuff in return. So for the very beginning of this, I'm just getting a shit ton of draft picks out of here, and again, like first round picks for the 2015 draft, because at the beginning I thought, maybe I'll get like Karl Anthony Towns, maybe I'll get D'Angelo Russell for like the 82nd time or whatever, just get some of those guys, because the Celtics have a bunch of picks coming up. They didn't have too many this year. I believe they had a total of like 5 or 6, which is still a lot, but I believe like in 2018 or 2017 they had a bunch of them. Like, I don't remember, but for the most part, I'm just bringing them all, pushing them out, getting some more back. For the most part, I'm not really giving up players right now, and I'm not going to mention all of them because there's so many of them. You can check it on your screen. I'm getting a bunch of first-round picks in return. I'm trying to get a bunch of guys, a bunch of teams that will most likely be in the lottery, and then I'll package those together to get a higher lottery pick. A little spoiler alert, for about 2 minutes later, I'm not going to keep most of these, even though I do enjoy getting draft prospects. Sometimes you got to get people who already are in the league and who are proven. So that's a little hint of what's going to come up very shortly. I do like getting those young guys, but at some point it's like you don't want to keep on getting a 76 overall who hits an 85 3 or 4 seasons in. Sometimes you want to get an 85 overall who's right now and ends up being a 90-something. So that's a little hint. And right here, I get one of my favorite players. I actually have his jersey, Damian Lillard. I end up giving away one of my good first-round picks for him, but I would happily give him up, Isaiah Thompson, someone else for that great of a player, because he is a foundational building block. And right here I get Joel Embiid for another great pick. I have to give up Brandon Bass and Tyler Zeller, but I'll give that up to get someone that good. Right now I'm giving away Marcus Smart and Sully, even though these two, because I'm pretty close to Boston, not very close, but geography, probably the closest team to me, geographically, whatever. I hear people talking about it a lot, especially my aunts and uncles who live closer to Boston. And a lot of people do like Sullinger and Marcus Smart, but hey, I'm getting better players. I just got Embiid. So right here I got a lot of trades, and then I just pick up Larry Sanders because, I need another center. I was kind of depleted at this time for like a backup center, a big man, and a bunch of guards I think are forwards. So I'm trying to get rid of James Young. He is very young. I think he's 19 right now. But I get a first-round pick for him from Indiana because Gerald Wallace has a huge salary, and I don't want that to affect me in next year's free agency because there's some decent guys out there. So I need to get a first-round pick so I can send him off, because in all honesty, I don't want to keep, $11 million going on into next free agency when I can get a pretty good player. So that's why I traded him away. So as of right now, I believe my starting lineup would be Lillard, Oladipo. I had Wilson Chandler, which is a quick thing I flashed. I don't think I really showed it too much. I have Joel Embiid. I really don't know who my power forward is. I believe, did I get Nene somehow? I don't remember. But I don't know my power forward off the top of my head. Sorry about that, but what happens happens. And I might have kept a guy like a Olynyk. I doubt it. So sorry for not remembering that, but I got a decent team right now. I was feeling pretty confident when I was doing this. And just to let you know what's going to happen in a little bit, when I'm going for my championship run, let me just say, injuries are a bitch. I've always had injuries in any association I've ever made, but this was next level. It just seemed like I'd put a guy out there, he'd bump his hand into another player, and he'd snap his elbow in half. That was the kind of injuries I really didn't play any games. I only played. I always do. You'll see me. I play like very, very, very close games through Simcast, or I play the championship game so I can see the celebration. But I would just imagine it had to be that bad because there was no way I got that many injuries. You'll see it at the end of the video when I'm on my championship run, because I always end with that. But yeah, can't really see the record right now. I believe we're over 500 because my vision is terrible. But we're getting very close to the end of the season. And you know what? This season didn't matter too much. I had 0 draft picks after this, so Westbrook wins MVP, not surprising. Wiggins wins Rookie of the Year. Dante Exum, 6th man. Anthony Davis is Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved was Klay Thompson, who you see every once in a while. And then Coach of the Year was Thibodeau, I believe. So it's nothing really too surprising out there, except for Exum winning 6th Man of the Year. And Gordon Hayward was hurt. Anthony Davis was hurt. I'm not going to go through all these teams again. I decided in my videos I don't want to do that because I'm kind of just like spitting out stuff as fast as I can, and it's not really worth it. You guys can look on your screen. If you're like on a different screen, just look over. Oh, and by the way, Larry Sanders is hurt right now, so of course. We're going up against the Cavs in the first round, not expecting anything, and this is exactly what happened this year in real life. 2-7. The Celtics lost, except they got swept in real life. I didn't care as a Celtics fan because it was nice to see them get that far anyways. Of course, the Bulls win, and Jimmy Butler wins Finals MVP, which is not surprising. Here's some retired players. No one really too special this year. Steve Nash and Vince Carter both get into the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to show you my free agency. They tell me not to sign Wilson Chandler, so I'm like, alright, whatever. And I can sign him pretty easily anyways. I don't sign him right there because there's a lot of guys, and I'm showing you all the guys who I'm trying to sign. I can't really pay Gasol anymore. That's his max contract, and he wasn't fully happy, but I'll throw it out there, see if he'll take it. Paul Millsap, I'll throw him some money. I'm looking at Greg Monroe. Yeah, right here. Looking at Greg Monroe, I'm going to throw him some money. He's unrestricted. I can get him much easier. And right here, I see Tobias Harris, who I believe there are rumors in real life that he might have was going to the Celtics, or there was a chance he was, and that'd be very nice as a guy who likes the Celtics because I like Tobias Harris a lot, and he'd be very useful to your team if you know how to use him right. He's a very good rebounding forward. He needs to improve his defensive passing, but he's a good scorer and rebounder. So right here is my little cheesy move of getting the most players I can at once. I sign everyone except for my guys. So since I don't have a hard cap on, I can actually do this. I ended up picking up Wilson Chandler back. And yeah, I believe I also picked up my other guys. I don't know if it was this season or the next off season, but I picked up my other guys like Andrew Nicholson back. So not positive off the top of my head, but you'll maybe see my team in a little bit. Don't really remember if I showed you, but I'm trading away Wilson Chandler and Victor Oladipo. I believe I can get a better shooting guard than Oladipo, and Wilson Chandler, he's kind of expendable now since I have Tobias Harris. And I see Kawhi Leonard. I don't care who I have to give up, really. I want Kawhi. He's a beast in this game. I love having him. Great potential, great everything. He does get injured a lot every time I get him, but when he's out there, he performs. And I'm trading away Danny Green and Greg Monroe for Bradley Beal. I already had a lot of forwards and power forwards, so I'll go with Bradley Beal because I needed a shooting guard after I traded away Oladipo. And I like Bradley Beal. I've used him a couple times, mainly because of his great shooting. He's pretty good at defense. He's very athletic. He's a good all-around player. So that's why I wanted to get him on my team. And I kind of enjoy playing with him. So, yeah, a little bit of all the factors. And we're cruising along through this season. Don't have any draft picks once again. I trade away all of them. I mean, I have like draft picks on like 2020 or whatever, but I'm not going to trade those away to go give me, a 2016 first rounder, which I will not use because I absolutely hate created players, like randomly generated players with a passion. That's the one downside of me doing like the VC glitch for my player. Yeah, I'm going all over the place right now because I do the thing where you just sim all the games unless it's a max contract game or whatever it's called. So like I'm in like the year like 2028 or whatever. My guy's like freaking like in a wheelchair, like he's really old. Don't really know. It's cool because I get like 1,000 VC every time I play, but then like I'm playing with a bunch of fake guys. There's like one guy left who's in the NBA right now. It's like freaking Marcus Smart or something like that. And I'm not just saying because I'm doing a Celtics video, but like I think it's him because he was pretty young. He only stayed 2 years in college, and I just remember I think he's on the Spurs in the game, and yeah, it's not fun. Like actually playing games, it's fun getting a lot of VC, but as I ramble and go out of nowhere, we're looking at the win-loss right now. Well, you are. I really can't see it, but we're well over 500, I remember. And Durant wins MVP, so back-to-back different teams MVP, or same players on the same team. Tobias Harris wins Sixth Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. And then Al-Farouq Aminu wins Most Improved, a guy who I really like, especially since he's on my Portland team right now in real life. I think he'd be very useful, and I like him as a player. Damian Lillard got hurt. Oh my god. And if you hear any background noise, that's probably my AC. It's getting pretty spicy, as I like to call it. You know, it's getting pretty hot. Karl Anthony Towns is hurt as well, and so is Justice Winslow. So injuries are pretty common through here. And right there, Damian Lillard, I believe that said broken leg, so that's not looking too good for my chances. And we're the 4th seed going up against the Bulls. Let's see if we can make some noise in these playoffs. And no, we get eliminated first round. And the Bucks upset the Heat, which is really surprising, but the Thunder win the finals nonetheless. Westbrook wins finals MVP, no big surprise, and here's a lot of the people who retired. Oh yeah, I got Ray Allen in free agency. I don't remember if I showed that or not. He didn't do too much for me. And yeah, here's some of my free agents or whatever, and I accept all their team options. And here are some guys I want to sign back to my team. Of course, Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal, very, very useful to my team. I had Nene from the Bradley Beal trade as a throw-in. And, yeah, I'll re-sign him too. First off, I was like, alright, I don't think I should re-sign. Let's see who I can get. Dwight Howard, no, he's making bank this offseason. So I'm like, maybe DeRozan will accept something. And yeah, I'm waiting for it to go through because, you know, this always happens. And I'm just like, you know what? You deserve this, DeRozan. Let me give you like $15 million a year. So I sim that. I get DeRozan on my team to completely stack my team. And now I'm throwing all my upcoming free agents a ton of money because I really need them on my team. I get my 2 main guys back, and I'm going to... This is a really cool thing that I found out the other day. If you go to bird rights and you press the square button or whatever, X on Xbox One, it shows you all your guys who have bird rights, so I can re-sign all those guys. Yeah, everyone probably knows about that, but I just like doing that. It's pretty cool. And I'm trading DeRozan and Millsap, the 2 guys who I got, from free agency. Both of them actually did. And I'm like, alright, my 2 favorite teams having a trade. And I ended up getting LaMarcus Aldridge and big boy, Robin Lopez. Even though I have a starting center, Lopez is a very, very good backup center in this game. I believe he should be a starting center in real life, but hey, he gets to come off my bench. He's fine with it, and he's close to an 80 overall. And I get LaMarcus Aldridge as my new starting power forward, who's an 88 or an 89 overall, something like that. So that's a little bit of an upgrade over Paul Millsap, and I'll take that 9 times out of 10. So my team consists of, right now, if I can actually think about it, Lillard, Beal, small forward is Kawhi, power forward is Aldridge that I just mentioned, and Joel Embiid is my center. So it looks like a very promising team, and we're doing pretty well. And then later on this season, we start to slip and lose a lot of games back to back, and I'm like freaking out when this is happening. Because, I mean, my overall of the team, I don't remember what it was. It was probably high 90s because most of my players were pretty freaking good. And I enjoyed playing with all those guys. Kawhi's release is a little weird with me. Even though a lot of people seem to like it. Like having him, I just don't like it too much. But I love his defense, rebounding, and tenacity that he plays with. Even though you really don't see tenacity in this game. Like, you know, still like using him because he's very, very good at defense, has good defensive stats. And so we're getting close to the end of the season, and this is my 3rd season, which is which every rebuilding video I've ever done. That's how many seasons it took. And not gonna say if I won it or not this year, but you guys can take a pretty easy guess. And just to guys, and there's the awards. And the only thing I was surprised by was Rookie of the Year and Sixth Man of the Year were the same player. The last time a rookie won Sixth Man of the Year was Ben Gordon back in 2005-ish, I think. 2006. I don't remember what draft he was from off the top of my head, but he's one of those two drafts. And we end up getting the first seed in the West, but in the East. Wow, I feel stupid. But somehow we do not get a freaking any people on all NBA team, and I don't know if we had any All-Stars, but I know we did have. I think it was Kawhi was defensive first team. And I don't know what I'm saying. Oh yeah. If you guys can comment down below, because comment section is very helpful. If you like the way I rebuild my teams from my previous videos and this one, where I kind of just, I don't know, it's kind of cheesy where I don't keep a lot of my players. I know it might upset some people because I know some guys want to keep the core intact, but like the Celtics, for instance, there's no guy you can really rebuild around right now. Closest thing you have is like Marcus Smart or maybe Isaiah Thomas, but I really don't think you can rebuild around either one of them in real life or in this game because they're both very special pieces. But I mean, if you could trade one of them for a much better point guard, I would do that instantly if I was Danny Ainge or myself, which I do in this game. So as you see right now, who is that? Oh, Bradley Beal is hurt, so it tells me to fix his timing, but you know what? No. I think we're good. I'll look at his timing, which I don't show, but I'm like, whatever, I'll put him in. And freaking, oh my god, look at this. Tony Snell's hurt as well. That rhymed. He tweeted it out last game, and it showed you in the top left corner, but I just recognized him now. Didn't even know I had Tony Snell on my team, but, he's pretty good. And we came back from a 1-3 deficit, I guess you can call it, in terms of us. And we end up coming back, and we end up winning and moving on to the conference finals, which I was, right here, I was getting kind of nervous. And we're playing right now the Cavs, and Bradley Beal actually healed up, but then he got injured again. I'm like, oh my god, this is going bad. So I have to simcast Game 7. Look at those injuries right there. Lillard, Bradley Beal, and Tony Snell are all hurt. And I'm trying to win a series right now, and I'm getting real nervous. I'm like, alright, this is going real bad. However, our team doesn't care. We don't care if half our guys are out there shin splints. We're using walkers, canes, whatever. We're coming back and we're winning this series. And we move on to the finals. And look at that. Look at those injuries, man. Those are big injuries. And we're playing the Spurs right now. And let me just tell you, Tim Duncan's still on this team. And this is 3 years from now. So Tim Duncan would be like, what, like 803? Nah. I love Tim Duncan. I believe he'd be like 42-ish. 41, 42 at this time. And so this is the last game of the series that we're going to play, and it's getting pretty bad. It's getting pretty messy. And their guy who won Finals MVP last year in real life is now on our team with Kawhi Leonard, and we're absolutely destroying. Right here, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't oversim the game, but we do have Joel Embiid, who's hurt again, some of his hamstring, I think it said. And we're up 21 with about a minute left. I'll just show you the rest of this game, talk a little bit. First off, my last video that I posted, which was the 2K16, what was it? Oh, the historic teams. That got pretty popular in terms of my channel right now. Like, it's not like a Chris Smoo video that gets like 200,000 views in one day, and then it kind of gets like up to like 400,000, like any of his like news related videos, which is crazy. If that ever happened to me, like on one of my videos like around right now, I would freaking freak out. I don't know what I'd do. Like, that'd be insane. But yeah, that was very awesome to see that kind of go very quickly, get a lot of views and a lot of traction. I enjoyed that, and so we're just ending the game right now anyways. So yeah, I like this team a lot. I know I didn't draft any guys this year, well, at all in this association, but yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, my team's pretty good. We're winning in the third year, unless I could have a 24 point comeback within friggin' 6 seconds. But yeah, Another thing that I did differently in this video, I believe, is I didn't fire my coach. I kept Brad Stevens the entire time. I really like Brad Stevens in real life. He's a very good coach, a very smart coach, and I think he deserves to continue to have his job. He has I believe, both A ratings for coaching, so I'll take that any day of the week. Especially with this young Celtics team, who actually, they're kind of matured. I mean, most of these guys are 25 and over, except for maybe Embiid. When most of the videos I've done before, it seems like I have like one guy who's like a 30-year-old, and then everyone else is like 22 or 20. And right here, throw up the shot, doesn't matter. We win the finals in a different court once again. I only believe we had one, and it was with the Knicks that we won at home, but we win in our third season. And I'm going to be showing you my team, but before that happens, if you made it this far, man, hit me up with a like, comment down below anything you want to say about me, like if you like my team, if you thought I could have made better trades, if you think I should do rebuildings differently. I'll take it all into consideration to make it more appealing, because I mean, I kind of alter how I rebuild based upon these YouTube videos, because my preferred way is to have a team, and it takes me a couple months in actual real life, because I play every game. I win like in the first year, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do that for a YouTube video, but I do alter it, and I do enjoy it. And Damian Lillard, he wins Finals MVP, and I'm going to be showing you the teams. They're pretty good, and yeah, Tobias Harris is on their team. Oladipo, that was part of my trade. Tim Duncan is still there, which is what I thought was really surprising. And I thought that it was Manu Ginobili, but it was Michael Frazier, I believe, which is kind of sad. Manu's gone. Parker's gone. But yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Whatever you want to do, it'll be highly appreciated. And yeah, it'd be very nice of you. And this is one thing I had to show you. It was like really sad to see. It had to do with Tim Duncan, man. Tim Duncan loses the finals and he retires. I mean, I love Tim Duncan, one of my favorite players of all time. He is 41, but, you know, stuff happens. Peace.